Dominating both ends of the court, they're playing an inspired brand of basketball. LeBron James is having himself a big-time performance. He's got 14 points. He's been dynamic on both ends of the court, finding teammates, playing tough D on the other end. For the Thunder, though, in this one, plenty of work still needs to be done. Too many turnovers, tough to win when you're giving the ball away as easily as they have. They need to start playing smarter basketball in the second half. Kevin Durant with a rough first half. He's been far too careless with the ball. He's trying to do way too much. And that's all there is to it. Thanks so much for spending halftime with me. Now it's time to send you back out for the start of the third quarter.
Welcome back as we take a look at this soaring view of the downtown Miami skyline.
What a game for LeBron. He's got 14 points, and the assist numbers tremendous.
His court vision, Clark, has been phenomenal. I mean, he could not be passing the ball any better than he is right now.
Heaves it up. Ibaka with the ball. Still looking to get on the scoreboard.
Well, one thing that you can't say is that the Thunder's rise to the top caught anyone by surprise. In the annual GM survey before the season started, more than 2/3 of the general managers in the league picked Oklahoma City to win the West.
Second half is underway, and here's who Scott Brooks has got on the floor. The front line, Kevin Durant, Serge Ibaka, and Kendrick Perkins. The backcourt comprised of Russell Westbrook and Thabo Sefolosha. And Chalmers kicks to LeBron. Gets it to go. LeBron's now got his team on the board first here in the second half for the Heat. And you look at the roster they have, and Steve, you kind of alluded to it around the league. They were garnering great success. The stars like Westbrook and Durant, so much youth. It's no wonder all those GMs, Clark, that Steve was just talking about, picked Oklahoma City.
And the scary thing is that they'll keep getting picked over and over again. I mean, they have a lot of depth and a lot of skill, and I just see them getting better and better each season.
Chalmers against Westbrook. Chalmers passed away. Chalmers dishes to Battier. This one for three, and that is good. Battier's got 7 points.
And I'll tell you what, they might want to pay a little more attention to him defensively than they did on that last trip.
Westbrook kicks to Sefolosha. Tried to come right back with the three of his own, but it's no good.
And LeBron last year, I thought, had the best season of his career. Shot 53%, by far a career high. And I think it started with him really making a commitment to go inside and to avoid those bailout three-point shots.
Ibaka, the pass to Durant. And Ibaka kicks to Sefolosha. He feeds it to Durant. Shot clock at 6. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. And for LeBron, with his strength and explosiveness, no question he has the ability to overpower defenders in the paint. We see it, Clark, all the time.
Yeah, and I like the fact that he's really been less enamored with the three-point shot. He's really concentrated and been intentional about getting that ball in the two-point territory, working on his post-up game, and really putting pressure on defenders that make him unguardable.
Everything's falling now, and this lead continues to increase.
Yeah, it's just way too hard to keep up with a scoring pace like this. I mean, and that's why the defense is having a tough time.
Changing sides didn't seem to help them at all, huh, guys? They've missed their first 3 shots in the third quarter.
And stolen by Chalmers. And here we go, fast break. LeBron's got it. Here's Battier. Bosch. No one near him. Goes back up. James. Rejected by Westbrook. And that's going to be too many steps. Gets the whistle on the travel.
Lost his focus. Just a careless play.
Trying to cut this deficit, they've got to play smarter.
And a new group in for the Heat. Udonis Haslem. He's checked in for Bosch. Lewis comes in for Shane Battier. Ray Allen is checked in for LeBron. And it's Norris Cole in for Mario Chalmers. Then for the Thunder, Jones checked in for Ibaka. Daquan Cook comes in for Kevin Durant. And it's Maynard in for Russell Westbrook. Here's Cole. Here's Lewis. And he lays it straight in.
Well, you can imagine when you have the players the Heat have and LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, who can finish at the rim like those guys do, you're going to have a very high shooting percentage, or at least you should, and that was definitely the case for them.
Maynard dishes to Collison. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. And here's Miami. 11 unanswered points for him. Haslam, that's good. Like what you said, Clark, the Heat shot a little bit worse as a team last year than the year before, but still finished in the top 5 in the league. So Steve's still an offensive powerhouse.
Yeah, mainly because of the talents of LeBron and Wade. That opens up a lot of three-point looks for their teammates. And, of course, in transition, that's a devastating duo. It's almost an automatic dunk when they make a steal or get a long rebound.
1:19 left in the third quarter. The Thunder have gone 0-5 to the start of the second quarter. Extremely cold shooting coming out of the locker room.
It's plain and simple. Trailing like this, you've got to make the most of every possession.
Yeah, they've given up a number of points off turnovers. That's a major area of concern for this coaching staff.
Here's Cole. Lewis outside. Allen up with it, and that one's good. Allen's got 6 points.
Just too easy. They're getting whatever they want down there.
You said it, Steve. 5 straight field goals inside for them. The defense has to clamp down here.
And here we go. Wade heading to the hoop.
And some instant offense coming for them after that steal.
Yeah, that's terrific, beautiful transition basketball. No chance at all for the defense to get back and set up.
Here is Cook, defended by Allen. Outside Collison. Kicks it out to Harden. Jones the pass to Harden. 6 to shoot. Harden left side. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off the shot before second violation. And a new group in for the Heat. Chris Bosh is checked in for Haslam. Battier comes in for Rashard Lewis. LeBron, he's checked in for Dwayne Wade. And it's Chalmers in for Norris Cole. Then for the Thunder, Kendrick Perkins. He's checked in for Daquan Cook. Durant comes in for James Harden. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Eric Maynard. Here's LeBron. Gets a very good look and converts. LeBron's now got 20 points.
Well, you look at the statistics, the mid-range jumper has the least payoff of any shot, but they've made the most of their chances here.
Yeah, defenses don't want to give up layups or open threes, so they force you into that tough mid-range area, but they're doing a good job of knocking them down right now.
And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one. So as we get rolling here in the fourth quarter, let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, for our Sprite Uncontainable game. Doris?
And Kevin, for that great stretch the Heat put together, they get the Uncontainable Game Award. They put together a very strong push as soon as the game tipped off, and they haven't let up once as they've really put together the kind of game a coach dreams of as they head now to the fourth period.
Great, thanks, Doris. And a very important turning point in this game was when they started to gather that steam and really started rolling, guys.
Yeah, no question, Kevin. And that run changed the entire feel of this game. And it wasn't just their offense that made it happen. The stops they were making defensively played just as big a role.
And right at the start of that run, fellas, you could see the sudden injection of energy that went through the whole team. Then it was game on.
So with Wade on the bench, this is who Eric Spoelstra has on the floor. Lewis is out there with Haslam. Then it's Mike Miller. Then there's Joel Anthony. And it's Cole in at the 5. And there's the 3-second violation.
Boy, just a wasted possession. You can't afford any of those.
And trying to narrow the gap here, certainly not a good time to get sloppy.
James Jones, who's checked in for Joel Anthony. Serge Ibaka is checked in for the Thunder. Reggie Jackson comes in for Daquan Cook. Now the Heat with it. Here's Cole. Pass to Miller. Uncovered. He squares up and sinks it. Miller's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Heat. And Clark, they've been a little too casual with the ball out there.
Yeah, I think so. Too cool. I mean, just not forceful enough, not alert or aggressive enough, and sometimes trying to do too much with the basketball.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to make the easy pass. Somebody's open, throw it to them. When you do that multiple times, the game starts to find a flow to itself.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Shane Battier is checked in for Lewis. And it's Allen in for Mike Miller. And it's Cole missing.
Great close out there, forcing the errant shot.
Well, he made it a tough shot again. He didn't give up on it, and he got a hand up.
And this is why they have the big lead. The rebounding has been dominant.
You know, guys, the +8 rebounding, I don't think it tells the whole story. I mean, they've been the more physical team from the outset. That's been the difference, their physicality.
Jones kicks to Ibaka. He passes to Perkins. There's the dish to Cephalosha. 4 on the clock. Perkins against Haslam. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D.
You know, you look at the way a point guard develops at a young age, most of them turn the ball over quite a bit. And the game is happening so fast, they're trying to figure out what they can or can't do on the floor. But the more experience they get, generally speaking, the better they get at handling the ball.
Mario Chalmers, he's checked in for Miami. And Oklahoma City with a change here, too. Daquan Cook's checked in for Kendrick Perkins. Allen dishes to Battier. Kicks it to Chalmers. Here's Haslam. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
You can't fault what he's been doing out there. Some really impressive shooting. Well, for many years, he was really the cornerstone player as far as the culture of the Miami Heat. You know, he's a hard-working, tough, defensive-minded guy. And he's a guy you really want on your team because of his ability to fight and scrap and claw for 48 minutes.
Not to mention a great teammate, Steve. UD, a guy who will set the tone in the locker room and sacrifice on the floor for the greater good. And, Steve, you speak of that from both a GM and a former guard. You've got certainly a great resume in both those areas. It just takes time to adjust to the speed of the game at the NBA level.
And sometimes these talented point guards are so good, Kevin, that they have to figure out, what they can and can't do. They feel like they can do everything, so they come into the league and they've got to just make some mistakes and learn from them and then eventually settle down and become efficient.
Heat have gone 2 of 7 from the field in what's been a cold start to the fourth quarter for them. And Chalmers kicks to Battier. Jones with it. Jones covering. Heat moving the ball around. And it's blocked by Ibaka. And that one's good.
They have a nice lead here and have really controlled the glass for the majority of the game. Kudos to them for their strong effort on the backboard.
Yeah, and they're sending a message too, Clark. They're really coming out and playing a very physical game here.
Jones, no good.
So hard not to go for it when you see that chance at the alley-oop.
Bet he wishes he hadn't, though.
Chalmers pass to Battier. Goes up to the stripe. Jones, no luck.
Tell you what, he can be really frustrating as a shooter. All you can do is grimace because he just can't find the range.
Here's Allen. That's good.
Well, it's really hard to defend when you're trying to recover from turning the ball over.
Yeah, that's because you can't get back in transition and the offense can just come down and get an easy look on you.
Maynard dishes to Cook. And the officials call a traveling violation.
Well, in the recent collective bargaining agreement, one of the rules that was changed was how the D-League can be used by NBA teams. And it's now been ruled that players with 3 or less years of experience in the league could be sent down. And they've added exceptions after that as well. I think it's a good rule.
Rashard Lewis, he's checked in for James Jones. And Oklahoma City with a change here, too. Perkins is checked in. Here's Maynard. And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession. James Harden, he's checked in for the Thunder. And here are the Heat now. 11 unanswered points for him. And Chalmers kicks to Allen. over Perkins. That's good from Allen on the assist by Chalmers. Going back to the D-League, Steve, it really does seem to be a better use of the league for the NBA. Now they can grow young talent a little easier.
I think it makes perfect sense. Sometimes, a player might be injured. Maybe he gets a rehab assignment in the D-League. It makes the D-League more viable, but it also gives the teams and the players more opportunities to help the player. And they're closing this game out in style. I mean, I like what they're doing here, competing till the very end.
That's certainly what it looks like. I mean, there's no let-up in them so far.
That's a great shot if there's
What a throwdown there. Man! Now that is just simply pure power, fellas. A nasty throwdown right there.
I'm telling you, Steve, this building is in awe.
Is he blessed with amazing athleticism or what? That's just incredible.
The Sprite replay really gave you a good look at the action.
Well, not much they can do at this point.
Nope, playing for pride, trying to finish strong for pride's sake.
And that's going to be a travel.
Really a careless mistake there, huh?
And that's just the type of play they can't afford.
And the Thunder making a change here. Jackson's checked in. The Heat have got a pretty good rhythm going offensively, shooting 8 of 15 for the quarter. Jackson against Chalmers. And so Miami takes this one by a big margin. Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game here.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, LeBron James.